Questions you should be able to answer by the end of this video. 1. In an element box on the periodic table, I can identify the following. A. Where is the atomic number and what two subatomic particles does it represent? B. Where is the symbol and why is it different from the element name sometimes? And C. Where is the atomic mass and how do I use this number to calculate the number of neutrons in an element? The periodic table is like one giant cheat sheet that you get to use on every chemistry test. The only trick is you have to know how to read it. Each box on the periodic table represents an element, and within each box are instructions for building that element. Cool, right? We started with the different parts of the atom, and now I'm going to give you the blueprints to actually create them. Remember that atoms are made of 3 subatomic particles: positive protons, neutral neutrons, and negative electrons. Now let's look at an element box on the periodic table. I will show you what I mean by blueprints. Each element is identified by the number of protons it has in its nucleus. Protons identify the element. Remember this, kids. Electrons get shared and lost all the time, but the protons identify the element. Okay, I'm done. This brings us to the first number on the box. This number is known as the atomic number, and it equals the number of protons this element has inside the nucleus. And it also tells you how many electrons there are in the electron cloud. Boom! You now know 2 of the 3 pieces of information you need to build an atom of this element. The symbol is one capital letter and sometimes a lowercase letter that is an abbreviation of the element name. And this is helpful when we start combining atoms later in the unit. Sometimes this symbol looks different than the actual name of the element. And this is because they are abbreviating the Latin name for the element. The next part is the atomic mass. Remember we talked about calculating an atom's mass? You add the protons and neutrons together. So if we have the mass already, we can subtract the number of protons. Remember, we know the number from the atomic number found on top. Let me show you how that works. You take the mass and round it to the nearest whole number. Make it easy on yourself. You look in the 10th place and remember the saying, 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, raise the score. Take your rounded mass number and subtract your number of protons, which is the atomic number, and voila, you have your number of neutrons. The last part is the actual common name of the element. Here is your blueprint to build any atom on the periodic table. Awesome, right? This is a major way you can help yourself on any chemistry test because you will always be able to use a blank periodic table. That's all for today, folks. See you next time.